Come on, start.
Simple life. It's all we want to live.
Give me food, give me clothes, give me love, and give me shelter.
Simple life. It's all we want to live.
Give me food, give me clothes, give me love, and give me shelter.
Yeah.
Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to the We Too Are Liberians movement platform, the platform that speaks to and for the masses. We say we're not in the business of manufacturing players, pimps and hustlers, but rather we're in the business of changing and revolutionizing the thought process of our people, not only in Liberia, but even around the world. So tonight we have an exciting show. We have with us in studio one of our own kind, our sister, a mother, entrepreneur. So tonight is definitely going to be another powerful one since we took over a little bit. Welcome to the show. This is no other but our own Alnetra Zaro. Please correct me if I'm wrong.
You got it.
Yeah, this is a powerful conversation with this lady exploring her transformative journey from Liberia to the U.S. The founder or the visionary of TRAZAR Community Care, Incorporated in TRAZAR LLC. She's doing a lot of things behind the scenes. Hopefully we'll all get to explore some of the things that she's doing. We also want to tap into her mission to uplift women through empowerment, creativity, and service. So welcome to the show, and just introduce yourself. Maybe hopefully you can tell us a little bit as we try to get into the interview real quick.
Thank you for having me. I'm excited to be here. My name is Alnetra Zaro, like he said, founder and CEO of TRAZAR Community Care and TRAZAR LLC, which is a printing service. I'm Liberian, as you all know, and I'm here to get into this exciting show. So I've been waiting and I'm here now. So let's go.
Perfect. It's great to have you. As a tradition, if you'll have tuned into our show or maybe come across our live, this show is being streamed and aired on both Facebook as well as YouTube. So if you are watching or you have come across it again, please try to share the show. So Anitra, you can go ahead and this is our tradition. See if you can get to Facebook because we want as many people to see this show. Our podcast or our platform aim to educate, to cultivate, and to empower the social and morally conscious youth. So just before we start up, please try to share the show. If you have done so, let me go ahead and check my Facebook. We are sharing the show with as many people as we can.
If you could just tag me, I guess, because
it seems like, let me see here. Yep. Just show, let me show for that before we start getting feedback. So let me see if I can tag here on the show. Okay. I believe I've done so. So you can share it now with friends, well wishers, and things of that nature. Yes, I'm pretty sure you've already shared it or you're starting to share it. I want us to run right into our interview tonight.
Okay.
All right. So my first question here to you, of course, your story actually begins in Liberia and carries across continent. How did your early experiences shape the woman, leader, and mother you are today, and what parts of Liberia's culture do you carry into your work?
Okay. Honestly, everything started from Liberia. My roots, everything is deeply rooted from my childhood, my upbringing. I grew up seeing powerful women in my family, women that when push hard and try to achieve greatness. So I learned community, respect, pushing forward and bringing people together. So coming up in Liberia, that shaped me to be the person I am today, because like I said, it is grounded deep in my culture. Because, as a young child in Liberia, the next door neighbor is your auntie, your uncle. You can't, you don't have to be biologically related to a person in order for you to respect them. So I feel like that shaped me to be the person I am, and I carry that with me a lot today in what I do. I respect everyone I come across. I don't have to know you personally, but once I see you as a person, I show you that respect. And that's just who I am as a person. And that's from my upbringing, my childhood. I've seen people do that. That's like, that was like what we knew. I didn't know any other thing, but I knew community, I knew family, I knew culture, I knew respect, I knew um, seeing people strive for greatness. So I guess I would say that I carried along with me over here when I came. I'm like, I can't, there's no excuse. This is the greatest country in the world. I have to practice everything I learned and, actually implement that in my life because I don't have any other option but to be great.
I'm glad that you said that. I mean, they're not making people of that kind anymore, where we have that community where the community involved with our children,
Yeah.
because of where we are. And it seems like we've actually gravitated to the West. For some of us, we believe strongly that we should work together, and we emulated our parents, elders in the community, and that really played a major role in our life today. So I'm really excited to have you here, and I hope that we'll have a few folks who will be able to learn from some of the experiences today, because you can be anything. And the real truth is, to him who much is given, the
Yeah.
more is required. So there's no reason why we should make excuses. But I want to quickly transition to something real quick, and that's the immigrant blueprint. And because I actually saw you maybe I would say, I think 10 years ago when you came,
True.
you started a little over 10 years. I'm not sure.
Yeah.
But I think this question is very, very important. So now migrating from uh, Liberia in search of better opportunity comes with emotional and practical experiences or challenges.
Yeah.
What were the toughest obstacles you faced arriving in the US, that's America, and how did you convert those moments into motivation?
I mean, for people that know me, one of the greatest challenges I ever had when I came over to the States to 2009, um, I had a son when I was back home, which was my first child. And the story is so funny. It's a long story. I will try to make it short because I actually won the DV, the diversity visa program to come over here. So long story short, when I had the opportunity to go and play that DV that day, my cousins were going and I just hopped in the trunk of the car they were going in. I wasn't even supposed to be a part of that trip that day. But with the grace of God, I was able to hop in the trunk of the car that took us and we went to play the DV program. So when we got there, long story short, we played the program. I won and I came to the States. So to your question, one of the greatest challenges for me was I had to be separated from my son. He was 4 years old at the time when I came here. So like a brand new mom, that's my first child. That was my everything. So not only was I struggling with navigating in a different society, I also had to go through me being a mom away from my son. And my late mom, may her soul rest in peace. She did a great job. She was able to step in the place of me and raise my son, but that was one of the greatest challenges. And in I got motivated to do anything I could because I wanted to one day be able to reunite with my child and bring him over here. And I had a long and tough immigration story. That's a thing for another day, but I got motivated to do everything I could. And when I met my dad and my sister. I told them, like, I seen what everybody's doing. I'm going to start there, but I don't know if that's going to be my path. I'm a person who always dreamt big. My vision are endless. So and I want to be this person because my number one motivation is how can I stay here long enough in order for me to bring my child? What do I need to do? So I started to ask questions. I started to get around people that knew people, and I met you in that process um through all the things that we did. But that was my mind trying to see how best I could push myself forward in the efforts of one day, getting to bring my son here, which I did in the end, and it's been such an amazing time for me. But that was so challenging when I got here. Not even talking about the actual changing of climate, changing of weather, changing of things, learning how to go to work, learning how to work for people, and all of that. But I take that number one over everything else. Everything else came second.
So if I also ask you real quick, well, amongst the many challenges that you have when you first came, you made that big transition because it was like a culture shock. What was that one thing that really motivated you? Because the truth is, especially for those of us who landed in the Philadelphia area, you
Yeah.
can easily be distracted. I had a young man who I met at the loading dock once, and he was asking me the question, the city, what state or what city is the best state or city to live in when you arrive in the United States? And my response to him was, you can live anywhere and
Mhm.
and thrive and make better of yourself because you have what it takes to be anything, especially within this country where you got schools in Pennsylvania or Philadelphia, you got jobs in Philadelphia, you got hospital, you got technical
Yep.
schools, and so it's up to you. So what was that one thing that really struck you as a motivation to, because let's see because there's a gap now. You just coming and you have to make this transition. I think personally you probably were already ahead of the game because you probably already had a bachelor's, you
Yep.
went to college, and you probably had already worked in Liberia, and
Yeah.
now you left your son behind. So you had, I mean, besides having the son, that one thing
Mhm.
that actually motivated you when you came to take that leap, and now to see you, arrive where you are. I know you have not arrived.
Of
You're
course.
still in the process, so you're a work in progress. So what was that one thing that motivated you?
I would say I had the passion of doing. I wanted to go a different path. That has always been my goal. It's like coming somewhere everybody is doing A. I'm like, I know A is the way, but how can I do B and succeed? Because I see a lot of people not doing B, and B has a lot of opportunities. B has a lot of so my motivation came from me wanting to be something other than the stereotypical Liberian in Philadelphia. I had to work to survive, of course, but I'm like, this is not. I'm not just gonna be subject to this. I can't. I'm not gonna do this.
So did it come from somebody, the environment, something you saw? It was just something that was already embedded in you based on the environment.
I would say a little bit of both. Because based on the environment when I came, that the way of living here, you go to work, you make a living, and you survive. You know, that's what everybody does. And it's not a bad thing. I'm not saying, oh, don't go to work, don't make a living, don't survive. But it's like, it's like, I don't want to offend anyone. Go to work in a group home, but what's beyond that? You know, when I worked in a group home, I wanted to be not just a direct support professional, I wanted to supervise direct support professional. So I was always motivated to do something other than just being,
That reminds
if
me
you
of
get my
something,
point.
Anitra, and not to cut you off. Uh,
Hmm.
I was listening to a powerful black man who is, I believe, one of the richest black uh, individual in the States, in person of Robert Smith, who once speaking at a university, he said, "You don't just want to ride a bus. You just
Yeah.
don't want to be a passenger on the bus. You
Yeah.
want to own the bus. You want to pick up as many people and put them on the bus." So it sounds like you already, you were thinking in that limelight that I want to be more than just and that's something we're about to transition to. And that it talks about entrepreneurship and women empowerment and things of that nature. So let's quickly transition to that because I feel your drive, and now we're transitioning to building TRAZAR Community Care. Founding a home care agency is both heart driven and
Mm.
demanding.
Yeah.
What moment or experience made you say, "I need to create TRAZAR Community Care"?
Mm. It's a lot. I mean, where do I start? So I used to work for the state. You know, that was, after, moving up and going, trying different things, I worked for the state. And during that time, I always got approached by people from other nationalities, like in other African countries, like, you work for the state. I want to do this. Can you help me out? And I help a lot of people. So I'm like, wait, if there's an opportunity here, why I don't see a lot of my people doing this? I don't. It's not a very hard process. It's not something that not non-achievable. Anyone can achieve this. I'm seeing actual people doing it, and I, I've been working in the healthcare field since I came over. So it's not like I don't have any experience in doing such a business. I already work for the state. I know the system and I know how the system works. So that was the first, force that sparked the fire in me to even think about establishing or opening a home care agency. That was just from people coming and approaching me and asking me to help them out because I work for the state. How do I do this? Okay, go here, do this, do that, do this. And I'm naturally just that type of person that wants to do for people. It just comes second nature. I just like helping out. You know, most time I don't even realize that I'm doing that, but I did it for a lot of people. And I was like, if this is the case, I'm gonna do some research and see what it is. And it seemed at first like something that was never gonna I wasn't gonna be able to achieve. Who you think you are? First you start getting those doubts, those judging spirits that will come and say, like, who do you think you are? Like, what do you even have? You work for a job and you're making like $15 an hour. What make you think you can own a home care agency? Like, so I'm like, okay. I listed three people that did it. And I'm like, I work in a job that's even making more than what that person make. If that person can do it, I feel like I can do it. And I'm that type of person. I do constructive comparison. I compare myself to people. If
Like that.
if this person can achieve this, I feel like I can achieve it. They're not better than me. They are not smarter than me. They are not whatever. I mean,
Like
they're human. I'm human. they have life. I'm strong. I'm energetic. I feel like I can achieve anything. So that's, it came from there. And I always had that spirit within me. I grew up wishing to be a business owner. And I don't even
Absolutely.
want to go into the stories of telling you things that I've done that landed me to the home care, but I've done a lot. So,
So forget
that's
that. Let's
how.
look at that. I have a follow-up question real quick. I
Okay.
have a follow-up question for you. And that's something I'd like you to quickly respond to. So
Mhm.
how do you define compassionate care from an African woman's perspective? Because now I heard you talking about when you came, the people working, you probably were making something substantial that you've ever made in your life,
Of
uh,
course.
and trying to venture in something that you've never done. Um, I just want you to tell me now, because now it goes beyond getting a paycheck. You're going to start writing the paycheck. But let's backtrack a little bit, uh, so that you can answer this question. How do you define that compassionate care from an African woman's perspective? Because a lot of our African women, excuse me, we are homemakers. We're there, we're on the receiving end because our spouses, normally, especially from African tradition. So how do you? I just want to hear your perspective from an African woman's perspective. That's not something that we normally find in our African tradition. I want you to kind of
So
walk me through that.
the on compassionate care, right? You said on compassionate care.
Yeah.
Like I say, this goes back from our culture and our upbringing. We grew up caring for people. Like that's what you know.
So it was more than the money.
No, it's not even about the money at certain to a certain extent, you know. And I always see myself. I want to be an example. I want to be an inspiration. That's my number one goal with women empowerment. With this, with that. The same way how I compare myself to other people, I want other people to compare themselves to me. Like if Anitra can do it, what make you think I can't do it? So initially it wasn't really about the money. It's about me seeing myself and wanting to be an inspiration or an example for the younger generation or even my peers, you
That's
know?
big. That's big.
Yeah, let me be that person that someone can point to, in the background, behind closed door, somewhere, sitting somewhere saying something, and my name will come up as an example. That's where my drive comes from. That's where everything I do, every vision I have, every thought, every dream, it stems from me wanting to be an inspiration or an example because I see other people as an example and I follow in their footsteps. And I think that's one of the problems we have in our community as Liberian women. Let me just put it there, me involved. We don't know how to seek help. We don't know how to, because we feel like we're gonna be prejudged, or like if I ask for help, or someone gonna see me this way, oh, I want to do this, I see this thing I need to do, I want to do it, but if I ask her, maybe she will go talk about me to her family, or we preconceive things in our mind without even approaching that person, or even speaking or walking up to them and telling them what you want or what you want to know. We have that issue. I'm gonna put myself in that because I was one of those people until I shifted my mindset and I was like, these are things that this is a different society. This is not what we grew up learning. But I can mix the both of them together to my own good. It can benefit me in the end because I know that I want to serve as that person that another woman would see, or somebody down the line would be like, yeah, that beast is She's doing something.
That's
Yeah.
really, really interesting. That's really, really
Yeah.
interesting. There's a Washington once said, to get something you never had, you have to do something you've never done. And it's interesting that you
Yeah.
brought it up, about us. It's not only prevalent amongst women. It's just, I think it's second nature to us, where we don't want people to know about us, and especially in our familiar surrounding. Even it's just something that normally we don't want to do. And how can you aspire to be something that you've never been if you're not asking questions? So I think
Right.
it's important that you brought that up, and that's why we want to share this. The show, like I said, is to really educate, to cultivate and also empower the social and moral. Someone saying you can hear your story, a young woman like you who would come and then make something of yourself. If you can
Right.
do it, like you said, they'll be able to do it. And you're not only empowering yourself, you're also creating employment. You're creating, even if you're not directly paying someone, somebody can see this and will be able to learn from it.
Of
So for
course.
those of you who have just tuned in, you are actually watching the We to Our Libraries Movement platform. We have with us the founder and CEO of TRAZAR LLC, TRAZAR Home Health Care. If I'm right, you can correct me. Our title for tonight's episode or interview here is from Liberia to Legacy, Empowering Women Through Entrepreneurship, Purpose, and Community Leadership. Um, I have more questions coming your way.
Yeah.
Ready to respond to them. Let's talk about this whole entrepreneurship with purpose. Now, you run both health care agency and the custom printing business. How do you balance structure and
Mhm.
creativity? And what does entrepreneurship mean to you beyond profit?
I think I hit on that a little earlier with the me just wanting to be an example, an inspiration to somebody else out there. But that's my main goal and of being an entrepreneur, right? I feel like there's opportunities here. This is the greatest country in the world. We came here, and I'm all my major thing is why not? You know, why not? Everybody else is doing something. Why not? We have some of the smartest people from our country. We have some of the brightest people, some of the most talented people. But you find that people sitting on their talent, on their passion, just because maybe for some reason you don't believe in yourself or you feel like you're going to get judged. I was there at some point when like I said earlier, when I thought about the dream of opening a home care agent, like, who do you think you are? Everybody goes through that stage or that phase in their life. Like, no, you can't do that. Like that, you can't physically or possibly you're not able to achieve that. But that's like the wrong mindset. As long as once you shift that and start thinking in a sense like, why not? Start asking yourself those type of questions. Why not? Why can't I enter the room that such and such person entering? Like they have blood running through their veins just like me.
So, Anitra, maybe the problem here is, I sometimes do shorts besides the show. And
Hmm.
so there's a short that I did titled, If You're Not Feeling, You're Not Trying. A lot of
Yeah,
times the problem here, people are afraid to feel. And
yeah,
that's why they don't want to try.
yeah,
And because they don't want to step out of their comfort zone. And a lot of times, I
absolutely.
think what we don't understand here is that your true potential may be outside that unfamiliar place.
Yeah,
And so, it speaks to what you're saying that, other people, if other people are doing it, why can't I do it? And sometimes I think it's important that you stretch the limit where you step outside, go try it. Even if you fail the first time, you might get it,
yeah,
and so, it's very impressive that you when you came, you thought that you can do something out of the usual,
yeah,
beyond the normal. And now this is where you are. You're still making strides to get to that place that you want to get. So I mean, it's very impressive, and hopefully,
And
young men, young women, not only young men, young women, young
I,
men,
I
also.
want to say something into that regard because I want people to know, like, I didn't just get up out of the blue and did the home care and it hit. The home care was one of the many things that I did that actually stuck and survived. I will give a couple examples of what I've done in light of what you said about feeling. Because people feel like, oh, if I try this stuff and I feel, people gonna laugh at me. Why you decided to do it in the first place? So what? I feel I'm gonna try again. I feel I'm gonna try again. I feel I'm gonna try again. Most of the billionaires and the multi-million dollar people that are in this country, when they tell you their stories and the things that they went through, they fill in almost 50 businesses, and then the one that hit, that was the one that changed their stories for the rest of their lives. At one point, I wanted to do a magazine company, terribly failed. I was in Liberia, I opened a Dix booth, built a booth, never even got money to buy the Dix to put in the booth. Failed terribly. I had Willa Market.
Oh, that's a great start. Great
Willa
storyline.
Market, yeah, they
Yeah.
coming from that. And when I decided to do the magazine, and I always get shout out to my cousins because when I say my rocks, my greatest support, all of the things that I want to do, my big vision, my thinking when I come, like y'all gotta be my models. Took them, we went there, photo shoot, never even the magazine never even made it to print.
Wow.
But that was something, and I was passionate about it. I tried it, it failed. It wasn't my thing. We did the container shipping business and all that. Like your thing might be something that you try. It might not be the thing that you even thinking about.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? I tried all those things. It wasn't my thing. I opened a store in Liberia. Not my thing. The goods went by, people not giving account of the inventory. Not my thing. When I did the home care, got the first client, I realized, yeah, this is my thing. I added a printing to it. Yeah, this is my thing. Now moving forward that I got the blueprint about being an entrepreneur and what it entails, I know like, yeah, I did all of those things to prepare me to be this person. Now I know all of the mistakes that I made, all of the errors. I jumped the gun on some stuff. Now I take my time, I sit, I analyze before implementing. So all of those failures will teach you to be when this one is your thing, all of those try and errors will, get you ready for your thing.
I love that.
It's that point.
I love the testament and the
Yeah.
testament that you're giving here. Is a clear testament that we can fail, wake up, try again, and succeed. A lot of times, like just like you alluded to, we see the finished product, but we don't know what goes on behind the scene. And that's why normally I use Thomas Edison, who invented the light bulb. 1,000 failed attempt. It was at the 1,001 attempt that he got the light bulb.
Wow.
Jackie Robinson, who he was an acclaimed baseball player or hockey, one of the two. We only hear about the home runs.
Yeah.
We never hear about the strikeouts. So we have to keep trying. I'm glad that you are one of our own kind. And this, like I just said, you're a work in progress, but to come here and be a testament for us to see, for our people to see, so that we can begin to stretch ourselves beyond our comfort zone. So ladies and gentlemen, again, if you're watching the show, I'm here with the incomparable and our own sister, Alnetra. TRAZAR. That name gives me a problem. But anyway, our topic for tonight, or the episode, is titled From Liberia to Legacy, Empowering Women Through Entrepreneurship, Purpose, and Community Leadership. Again, our podcast here is to empower, to educate, and to, cultivate the social and morally conscious youth. Look, Anitra, I'm telling the truth. A lot of times we find ourselves in a position where people are doing the thinking for us. And it's
Mhm.
time for us to think for ourselves. If
Absolutely,
you
I
are
agree.
thought for your very self to think beyond the usual, we wouldn't be having this interview. We won't be talking about this. Hopefully, somebody can learn from this. I see your lives, I see your shorts, very impressive. You're teaching, and this is good for our community. The community is so toxic. How many
Yep,
people do you even see following things that are, there to build us, but things
accident.
to tear us down? And that's why I just had a vision and I pinned that vision. It's on. I put it out there on Facebook about the new Liberia. If we can start to do these things
Yep,
one day, one step at a time, we see we can change our community. We change, our environment, and hopefully we'll be able to also change the world.
yep,
Because look, what you're doing is not only limited to Liberia. Here you find yourself. You can go anywhere now and
yep.
survive and make it. So I want to commend you. I find that very, very commendable of you to venture in that. So then, with that
Thank
being
you,
said,
thank
we're
you.
right straight to faith, grace, and leadership. So you frequently speak about faith and perseverance when I'm watching your live. You know,
Mhm.
a lot of your quotes. How do these values guide you or guide your leadership style and decisions making in moments of stress and uncertainty? Because I know sometimes you get overwhelmed and sometimes you're not really sure, but yet and still you keep moving.
Yeah. I mean,
You want me to go back and ask the question?
I think I got it.
Okay.
Props to my lit mom, RIP. She taught us. I learned growing up that the little we had, that was enough for us. And whatever she provided for us, she made it known that, there was a supernatural power and we believe and we have faith that it's going to be okay. It's going to be okay. I didn't grow up, in a rich family or environment. I was raised by a single mom since I was two, and then reconnected with my dad after I came to the States. But she taught us to always be content with what we had. We grew up with love, we grew up with laughter, we grew up with happiness, on one meal a day. But we were happy. My siblings and I were the most happy people on earth. And you wouldn't know the amount of hardship we are going through individually. But when we meet or when we're together, we're happy. And that's from our upbringing, our like raising us up. That's what we knew. So that has stuck with me. So through every hardship, through every uncertainty, through every tough decision I have to make, I'm human. It gets me sometimes, but I know that. So I look at it like this, like, what is the solution for this problem? If I have an issue, I'm going through whatever, I'm a solution based person. I will worry, but in the worry, I need to find solution. So I bring that as a business owner or being a leader or even work experience. People that I've worked with will tell you Anitra is this type of person. She's, I mean, I don't want to brag too much, let them see.
You gotta
But
tell us.
yeah, she's
Consistency.
a she's a
Look at
kind
it.
person. I give a listening ear to everyone.
Yeah.
You know, I might be, not want to hear. I'm gonna make my face on the phone on the other side of that call, but I will give you my undivided attention. I will try to provide solution to whatever issue it may be. So I carry that with me in my business, my clients, my staff, my customers. treat everyone with respect, treat everyone with kindness, give them grace, and then God above will, work everything out in His own timing. In His own timing, there are a lot of uncertainty, especially in the Americas. As a business owner, as an entrepreneur, Black minority, a lot of things are going against that we have to fight against, as a woman, minority, and African. So I always go towards any situation. Like I have this notion, I learned this from my brother. He's like, everything you have to go through, realize that you didn't have that before.
Right.
So every no should be a motivation for the next yes. So that's how I live my life. It's a no today, but hey, I didn't have it yesterday. I got that no today. I might get a yes tomorrow. So I hope I answered that question,
You did. You
in
did.
the
You
best
did.
of my ability. But that's how I see it. And that's my principle. People that's in my home, my family, like, I like to be real honest. I'm human. I break, I will go through stuff, but hey, the next day I'm getting up and I'm finding solution for whatever it is. And I pray to God. I believe in the Most High. That's how I was raised. Christian. I believe in God and I have faith. And most of the things that I go through is by God and by faith.
Anitra,
Mhm.
really, thank you very much for for coming. We're not going to conclude on this note, and that's
Mhm.
something that I know I should have started the show with. I want you to tell me a little bit about your educational background as we move to our next question here, motherhood
Oh,
and ambition. As a mother of two boys, right? Besides having two boys. Now, we'll get to you just sharing with us your educational background, but just before that, how do you model strength, purpose, and resilience? I know you kind of tap into it a little bit for them while still giving yourself room to grow and dream.
credit again to my mom. Hope I don't get emotional on this show, but she's late. Credit to my mom. I saw a strong single woman raise four children, two boys, two girls, and not me being the last. So whatever she went through, we were always her number one priority. Like I went to Catholic school. My mom was a silver seven. We I went to Catholic school. I went to the best of school, my siblings and I. She saved up her salary to educate us. She is my role model. Like I strive to be that lady when I was a little girl. Looking at her waking up every morning, she went to work, red lipstick, makeup, nails done, hair done, best dress. You would think she's going to a fashion show, but she was going to work. That was my role model, and she still is to this day. So I gained my strength from her. I have my children, I got my kids, those two boys, everything I work for is for them. I want the best for them. I want them to grow up to see what true life is. Where I always teach them that this is an opportunity for us. We're here as borrowed people, like we're living or tapping
Right.
off of the blessings of this great land. Don't get it twisted. Don't let it get to your head. Oh, I'm this. No, you're not. I instill that principle into them, and I want them to know. I show them the truth. I show them when I'm down, like when I don't have it for that. I want you to know that whatever we have today is a privilege. It's because of my hard work. It's because of what I do. I want you to appreciate what I gave you, and I want you to be happy for what you have and what you don't have. Don't compare yourself to no one. Go and work hard. You see me, I get up every day, I go. I want you to do that. So, I'm proud of who they're becoming, like those kids. You're a proud parent when your kids grow up. I have a 19-year-old who's playing soccer in France, and the little one in middle school. Boys, when your kids reach that level, you're proud. And it's because of what you taught them, especially in this country where things quit to get, reach to the gray area or twisted, especially when it comes to kids. So I'm grateful to God. Every day I pray and I present my kids to Him. Like, let them grow up to be great young men and treat people right, because that's how we were raised. We respected elders. Anyone older than you, like uncle, you're not in my LIB tune. You're not. Oh, hey, no, uncle this, into that.
Yes.
That's how it's supposed to be. That's how I was raised. I became a mom. That means it was great for me. It's also good for you. So I thank God. Like I just give everything, all the praises to God, because it's through Him I'm able to raise the kids the way they are and be there for them the way I am supposed to be there for them.
I
Yeah.
like this response. Thank you very much. And it's said in the good books that raise a children in the way that they will grow and will not depart. Frederick Douglass once said, he said, it is much easier to raise strong children than to repair broken men. Liberia is as a consequence of where she is because of the quality of people the country has produced. So you can already tell who you are or who you've become, and still becoming, and your children are becoming as a result of what you have been taught or what
Right.
we were taught. So it's important. Those are lessons that we're using the podcast, we're using the platform as a medium, again, to educate, to cultivate, and to empower socially and morally conscious youth. We're thinking beyond the box. So we're really excited to have you on the show. I know we've said it over and over again. Tonight we have with us in the studio the one and only Alnetra. I got it right.
You got it.
Okay. Yeah, she's here and she just, I asked you a question. I know you did not respond to it, not to put something out there, but we want to challenge our young people out there too. Just before I get to the last question, would you just tell us a little bit about your educational background?
Oh, so I had a bachelor's business management before I came to the States. And then when I got here, I got a master's also in business administration and, continued education, because I wanted to get another degree, in health management services, because I worked in the healthcare field. So that I would say I have an MBA. That's the highest one. And, some courses for healthcare administration, which I didn't complete, but that could always come. And I got a couple of certificates like in the human service field that helps boost up my resume and things like that.
So that's really impressive. It's said that it takes the education from theory,
Mhm.
and in order for you to be able to bring it into utility and practice,
Right.
otherwise the education is useless. So we
Yeah.
can see one of the reasons why I'm asking, the degree that you have acquired is not something that you just put on the wall. It's a social contract that calls for you to use it. So you
Yeah.
can see how the reason why I'm asking, we're going somewhere, because
Mhm.
on the show where we will grab topics, with respect to entrepreneurship and some other things that we can highlight, so as to send the message out there. And know that way we're educating people also, because that's something that we want to do. So I
Yeah.
want to commend you for that, Anitra. I think it's very impressive. Your being on the show highlights a whole lot, and hopefully some young man some young woman, even though this is about women empowerment, entrepreneurship, and things like that. But anyone can learn, can talk from the experience tonight. So, lastly, let me ask you this one question, and then
Mm-hmm.
the legacy in our podcast. Like I said, I'm a globalist. I consider myself an internationalist, a nationalist, and a pan-Africanist. I believe that we are citizens of the world, but the truth is, we hail from Africa. We hail from a lineage and legacy of incredibly great people. We built a university of Salamanca in Spain, so we're not easy people.
Okay.
The University of Timbuktu in I mean, in City of Sincori, we built it. So we're powerful people, but we walk around with our heads down. And if we can think about leaving legacy, we will be building a better society. So the question I want to ask you now, legacy and Pan-African vision, looking ahead with everything that you've done and have accomplished and still accomplishing. Like I said, you're a work in progress. What kind of legacy do you hope to build for the next generation of African women, entrepreneurs, and community leaders? And where do you see yourself expanding your impact?
Hmm. So my
That question is that
it's a
compound interest. Yeah, sometimes I like to just, you know what I mean?
no, I got it, I
You
got
got it,
it,
right?
bro. I'll try my best to answer. First of all, I would like to impact the world globally. First, impact and be an example for women, and men, if they will. I want to see a world where every young woman can be self-independent. Like, I'm not against having a man, but I don't want a society where women rely on men for everything. Is there's a difference between being self-sufficient and still being a wife, fulfilling your biblical principles that you're supposed to as a woman to a man, and being an independent woman and being self-sufficient, have that value for yourself. So my passion for women empowerment and for uplifting women, I want to see a world where especially people that are outside of the diaspora to understand that you have the power within you to uplift yourself, to value yourself, to build confidence, to strive for anything. You can achieve it. You don't have to be in America or overseas to achieve some level of success. If you start believing in yourself and you start working towards that goal, you are going to achieve it. Um, I have the vision of expanding this women empowerment thing globally. Like I said, I want to establish wings in certain places in West Africa and bring women together, like have summit, like have people be vulnerable and be raw and come to there. Like my vision is seeing us coming together and learning from one another, like being open and being willing to ask for help, being willing to accept help, being willing to open yourself up to grow, being willing to, you know, accept that you are enough. Nothing against my brothers, my fathers, my uncles, the husbands, nothing against them, but just helping women realize that you are so much more. I feel like that's what my passion is, that's what my goal is. And little by little, I know I'm gonna get there, but in a nutshell of what I took away from that question, I feel like that's where I want, and my aim and objective really is.
Excellent, It was an honor having you on the show tonight. No words to express how delighted we are to have you on the show. As we close today's conversation, maybe I want you to just give us your last word, before I quickly close the show. I mean, it was really, there was no dull moment. I thought you answered the questions, profoundly. And I hope that, our viewers tonight will be able to learn something from this interview. There will be a takeaway.
Right.
I hope that you will lend us your time to come on the show because, like I said earlier on, we live in a critical time. These mediums, these platforms are to be used to empower, to elevate, to really cultivate our people so as to catapult them and put them somewhere, even more prominent. But we're using these space, can you imagine, to tear ourselves. And
Right.
I strongly believe that what the conversation we had, it's just powerful. It's power pack. So
Yeah.
just give us the last word, and then I'll go ahead and try to wrap up the show tonight. It was great having you on the show. I really do appreciate your appearance.
Right. So I would just want to say thank you. Thank you for what you do. I know maybe you don't get enough credit, but keep doing what you're doing. You're shedding a lot of light on things that people are not really paying attention to. You're giving us platform to be known, for people to see us, and we need more of that in our community. And I want to tell you thank you first of all for what you do. For we too are Liberian movement. I embrace this movement. I'm part of it wholeheartedly. And we want to see our country succeed. We want to shed a positive light on our country. We as Liberian, we are not, there are a lot of us who promote positivity, and we try to stay away from the negativity and the drama. So I want to say, firstly, thank you for that. Thank you for having me. And I just want to encourage everyone out there, follow your dreams, follow your passion. No dream is too big to achieve. Whatever you dream of, you can achieve it. Go out there and follow your dreams. Also, follow your girl on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. Yeah, when I'm sharing this live, I will
Yeah.
put my information in
I
there.
like that.
I do home care and I also print. We have one of the best printing service in our Liberian community in Philadelphia. Come check us out. That's what we're talking about, supporting small businesses. If you support a person that's from your country, you are helping to promote and move your country forward. So that's my final thought. Thank you, Aite, for bringing me on. I appreciate it, and I would love to do it again. Thank you.
Thank you so much. As we close to today's conversation on the We Too podcast, we honor the timeless truth that the African woman is the backbone of community, the keeper of memory, and the architect of tomorrow. Anetra's journey reminds us of an African proverb. When you empower a woman, you empower a nation. Her story reflects what Kwame Nkrumah once said: the emancipation of women is not an act of charity, but a prerequisite for the liberation of society. From Liberia to the United States, from challenge to purpose, from vision to impact, Alnetra Zara stands as living proof that when African women rise, the world rises with them. To every woman listening, your dream is valid, your voice is necessary, and your power is unshakable. As the Pan African spirit teaches us, we lift as we climb. Thank you for joining us tonight on the We Too Liberia's Movement podcast, hosted by C.I.E. Williams, where women evolve, empower, and emerge. Thank you very much for coming tonight again. Good night, and I look forward to talking to you. God bless you. Bye for now.
Okay.
Simple life.
clothes, give me love and give me shelter, shelter. Simple.